So, hello everyone again. This is an update on the Do Changer project with some good news. The GitHub files are released. Build at your own risk. As I said, the worst case that you have a very good single extruder printer. I am tempted to make a single extruder mod for this and release it because I have realized that there are very few cheap but good printers. When I look on the internet, you pay $300 for an Ender, 200, and then jump to like 800 for a Prusa of Voron. Usually, I mean, this is kind of exaggerating. I don't think there are many printers in the mid-range, and although these rods do provide some flex under a lot of pressure, this thing's more than good enough, honestly. Like, I can see like half a millimeter of flex, but this kind of force doesn't get applied to 3D printing anyway. Obviously, this isn't as fast as a Voron 2.4, but it costs like half as much. Literally half as much. I think it's a good printer. It uses the rails only where it's absolutely needed. In my opinion, on the core is why you really need V-slots or rails here, unless you're building a small one. Anyway, I might do that. I have a lot of options now that my motor is smaller. So, now that I have a smaller motor, and sorry, by the way, when I switch cameras, I keep forgetting that my Samsung phone freaks out a bit and cuts the audio. So sorry for that. Now that I have a smaller motor, I can push this up and reduce the effect of leverage on this, which is especially useful for me since my rails, I'm not sure if the video is showing this, have play in them. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, and sorry for covering my microphone, I should keep that in mind. Yep, the camera doesn't show it, but I can see it with my own eye. This has bit play, so, you know, even without play, the closer this is to the pivot point, of course, like, look at this. This is not much movement. Look at the tip of my finger. This is a lot of movement. That's the kind of one of the things you have to keep in mind in 3D printer design is to minimize the effect of leverage on the nozzle. And as you can see, due to the limitations of this dumb frame, oh my god, I hate this frame, I have not been able to minimize it well. Still, it's not too bad, but I could push it up. But the thing is, I am tired of modifying this printer every day. It takes so much energy to the point that I'm just gonna leave it like this. Like, not kidding. Building a motion system in Iran is like pretty much trying to, I'm not even sure, like trying to swim without goggles, I guess. I'm not sure. It's possible, but it's really annoying and pointless. So when I get in Canada, I'm trying to try a design a better one, obviously, like entirely from ground up. Now, this is a good news update. I have figured out how to eliminate all the artifacts from my prints. Focus, please, dearie. Forget the wiping. I'm still tuning that part out. I still want to stop getting these blobs everywhere, every now and then. Look at those layers. They look perfect. This is a tool change print. Like, consider that. Like, for example, ignore tool 0, that wasn't tuned. So the tool 0, which is this pink one, was crappy back then. Okay, so if this guy decides to focus, do you see these? Every other layer there's a bulge here. It's really ugly. Yeah, I managed to fix those. Those actually weren't tool change related, they were extruder related. I basically had to tune the temperatures and the wiping progress. Actually, fun fact, my tool 0 doesn't waste a gram of filament. It doesn't purge at all. Instead, it has this aluminum foil thing, which blocks the nozzle. It doesn't even wipe it afterwards, which is a bad idea. I kind of have to add a small silicone wiper like this tool. Do you see that? It's a severe, it's like a cut up sock. Kind of need to add one to the other tool. It doesn't work well. The silicone doesn't wipe well for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe if I rotate it with the part, you know, like this lip being the other side, it would wipe better. I don't even know. The thing is, these don't wipe very well. I've had a lot of issues with wiping to the point where I just cut this, and I'm thinking of just using the brush. But brass brush, where's brass nozzles? Even though tool 1 has a hardened nozzle still. But anyway, the project is going great. My tool change accuracy is great. I actually, where did I put it? Anyway, who cares? Put a microscope on my bed with the hot glue, and I had interesting results. with picking the tools from the dock, I actually had a lot of variation. But I also noticed my microscope was wobbling around when it happened. And I noticed that if I do this, the nozzle has the same amount of movement. So I gave up on that. I manually placed the tools, placed the lock, force lock, like the stepper moving, like my stepper. Anyway, you get the point. I pressed the lock button on Fluid. Wait, this is Twitter. On Fluid here, I have these macros. Oh my god, I'm loving Fluid. I'm gonna make a video on that probably. Yeah, I did that. And it almost had no visible variation to my eye. I took the tool, unlocked it, moved it around here just for fun to make sure every variable that would happen during printing is gonna happen. Put it back, locked it. It would be exactly in the same place if I was careful to knock the microscope with the nozzle, because it was a really messy setup. I got no variations for that I could detect in pictures. With tool 0. With tool 1 I had, but I noticed something else, that the locking thing was actually maxing out and not locking fully. So, you know, I pushed this closer so it's further away from the dowel pin. Oh my god, my hands are so dry from working with mechanical parts. I need to use some lotion again. Yeah, this basically, yeah. My thing was too close to that, so I pushed away. It's not fully proper, but still. I also 3D printed a new one of these. I'm actually thinking of making this the logo of the printer instead of just saying doot changer. It would have this on it, the pattern here basically. Anyway, that's it. The summary of this video is that everything's perfect, everything's working great. I'm literally just having fun with this and tuning retractions. Did I keep any of the things? I keep giving these away to people, especially kids love these things. This is one of my old prints. Yeah, do you see those horrible layer lines? Especially in tool, although tool 0 has some. Oh god, this is like, yeah. Can you see those? Anyway, I've progressed a lot. This is the latest print. Not the latest, but one of the goodest print. Check that out. Compare these two to each other. There's still some, like, do you see these? Like, filament keeps getting stuck. It's annoying, but I'll fix it. Huh. By the way, this one's from Tool Changer magnetic one, full of dust. It looks better in real life, just the dust is exaggerating the layer lines. It really does look good in real life. Yeah, this is what I can show you. I printed something. Where is Sappho? Yes, I printed Sappho with like PLA supports on PETG. This is, look at those. This was printed this way with PLA supports. Look at that. Can you believe that that's a support interface layer? It looks like a top layer. Like literally look at the top layer. If this decides to focus, that would be lovely. It looks exactly like a top layer. I, for fun, 3D printed this. I forgot the name. He's an awesome dude who makes lots of cool stuff on YouTube, so check him out if I remember the name. Huh, it kind of looks like a chicken or a duck now that I look at it this time. Yeah, this broke. But if you can see from the stringing, for some reason my printer printed this terrible. Can you see all those issues? I don't know what's up with that. That filament I have over there is I use it as waste filament because I hate it. It prints so bad. It's from eSun. I'm not sure if I had a bad one because I loved the rest of their filaments. I mean, it depends. Their ABS is really good. Mostly buy their ABS because it's rare to find branded filament around. But this one prints like utter crap. It's like their silk. And let's see. This isn't exactly a tool change print. Ah, yes. Ow! I dropped this. I picked that up. So, I printed this cute bunny too. I really only showed it to you because it's so pretty. I wanted this filament for 3 months, I think. I looked at it so bad and I was like, oh, please let me afford this. And I afforded it finally after saving. So I'm really happy. I printed these earrings out of it. And I can't find the suitable material for this, especially since I'm allergic to most things. Can't find stainless steel wire to make this an earring, but oh well. So yeah. Those were just, you know, me showing you cool stuff I printed. It's not really tool changer related, but this is one, like, oh, if you're wondering what happened, what I felt, For some reason, this part kept going inwards. I got super glued this part, but it still kept falling out. So this time, I just went overboard with super glue. It's super sturdy. Do you see that? Yeah, because you have to realize when you pick a tool, this kind of gets pushed back a bit for a bit, you know, during the impact. Because it's not like perfectly. Sometimes these are a little bit more up and down. Yeah, anyway, that's the point. I'm making this video too long. And I blocked my microphone so you guys are gonna get annoyed as hell with your left ear. I'm so sorry. This is just a bad update. Whew, I talk so much. Anyway, have fun. The tooth changer is really working well. I purely, because of my own sanity, stopped modifying this, because every modification sometimes changes every part here. Like I have to change every part to align well with the modification, so I stopped them. Because you have to realize that if I push this up, like if I push this up to reduce leverage, I have to push this up. I have to push this up, and it means I have to entirely change the way I dock tools. Because this now one will hit, he will be here relatively, right? This pins, and it would hit the fan. Do you see why designing a tool changer is hard? It's insanely hard. You have to worry about everything aligning with everything. You have to worry about all this nonsense. And oh, the dock's much nicer now, by the way. You can't see it because it's like, yeah, the dock's much nicer. All the files are on GitHub, except these two. If you want them, just PM me on Twitter, or just YouTube. I don't even care. Oh, and I glass fiber reinforced these parts just for fun. I didn't get a difference here. These two actually did help. This like stupid strands. There's one on the other side too. These genuinely help. Yeah, I should do that with the wedge on this one too. I'm gonna do that after I pause the video. Have fun.